Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And I mean, award-winning. I know you hear this guy say, hey, is this guy always talking about award-winning? We don't know what he's doing, but anyway, I'm going to show you today some of the things that we've been working hard and we were able to be successful. I have two of my famous aides here, the Richmond ladies. That's Joan and Camara, and we're just going to show you on the Ed Brown Show, we work hard and it paid off. What I want to do first is show you we won this is the Oscar that the Ed Brown Show won. Let me get this together now as the host. So I'm very proud of everyone that's been supporting the Ed Brown Show, especially my aides there. They've been wonderful. That's just one of them. And as far as, it takes a lot of time and effort. And these young ladies here, what they do, they give me that background. You wonder where I get all that spirit for? It's from these young ladies here, the Richmond ladies. And then we come around here. I'll let you hold it. Now, I'm not going to let you keep it. I'm going to let you hold it.
I can hold it. As long as I can hold it, I'm good.
This
Best talk show.
The next one is concerning a series. And the host. One host, one series. So what we've done, we worked hard all year, and it really paid off. And like I said, I didn't do it by myself. There was Edwin Brown Sr., there was Edwana Larkin, there was, let's see what, another young man there, Larry Colbert. It was some important people that took part in here. But what we're going to do, I'm going to let Joan hold that one here. Yeah. But, Joan, you want to hang on to that?
Yeah. Sure. Yes, we have to just keep showing.
Yeah.
Best talk show series.
Okay.
Ed Brown, the Ed Brown Show.
And the most important thing, like I say, is that no one does things by themselves. So I have a terrific staff here, and I like to make a presentation to them for all the help for the years that they've actually given me. And this is why the show has won every year some kind of award, because of the staff. See, not me, the staff. And the first one I like to present to Joan Richmond. She has done an outstanding job. Yeah. I was looking at it myself. And there it is. See, I mean, this is for all the work that you've done and all the things that you've done for the show. And we at Ed Brown, we're so proud of you and the effort that you take. We know that you keep everybody rolling. You Camara and everything. And as a mother, we like to really honor you today and give you something that you can see that all of the work that you've given Ed Brown and given this show, we really appreciate it. You want to pass that over to Joe?
That is
Thank you,
wonderful.
Mr. Brown. That is so nice. So
you want to hold it so
that is wonderful.
You can hold it so they can see it.
Hold it so that people can
Joe.
see it.
Oh, I am.
Hold it up. Oh, that's it. All right. And then the other one goes to Camara.
Oh, thank
this
you,
is
Mr.
for
Brown.
all the efforts that you've done each day that you come through the rain, snow, and sleet. That I really, in the station and everything, they really appreciate it. I get, when I'm over to Wedman's, places around, people come up and say, hey, we like your show. So I've gotten all kinds of raves about it. So this is for you, Ms.
I love this. Thank you, Mr.
Richmond.
Brown.
Mrs. and Mrs. Richmond.
Outstanding awards.
What they've done. You want to hold it up?
Yeah, let me hold mine up too.
And that's all. I really appreciate the effort that you make to be on the show, to keep me straight.
Thank you.
And everything. And Joan keeps us both straight. And you have something that you want to talk about with Joan, don't you?
Well, I wanted to say that, you know, I had the stroke, which is how I ended up on your show. And I have my radio show, which a lot of those guests come on this show. And the person that listens to my radio show every week is my mother.
And she critiques it, right?
And she's there, and you know, she always says, great show, great guest, and
she gives you that inspiration.
the inspiration, yes. She
And
always
I tell you,
acknowledges
this
me.
is a good time for me to really honor your mother.
Yes.
And for you, you got a little something for your mother. You want to present that to her?
Well, should you do that one?
No, you. She's not my mother. She's your mother.
But I want to say too, you know, having the stroke and the sarcoidosis, you need a patient's advocate. You need someone in your corner every step of the way to make sure the doctors are doing what they're doing, the hospitals are doing what they're doing, the therapists are doing what they're doing. And so that's my mom. And so I love her because she's a great mom, and she has really made changes in her life so that I could, so that I can be where I am today.
I talk about her all the time. I said,
You do.
I said, when things have to be done, when things, she's there, you know, even with photography. I said, she's not crazy about that, but she anything, you know, if Joan is there, she does it. So now we have something, since, let's see, Mother's Day is coming up, right? And you have, and who is that for?
Oh,
Look how beautiful this is.
Isn't that?
We're gonna just unwrap that. I guess I could have unwrapped it earlier.
beautiful.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That is
We get rid of the little plastic bag there.
That is gorgeous.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And this is
That
for
is
Mother's
gorgeous.
Day. I mean,
Thank
all
you.
the mothers out there, Joan is an excellent example.
Thank you, Mr. Brown.
I want to
Yes.
pass that. Joan, you want to
I
take
don't
your
wanna-
plaque and put
I
it here,
should
Joan,
put
so you can hold your
something
flower.
there for a minute.
That's
Yeah,
it.
like awards and plaques.
I'm telling you, I'm feeling awful
And-
important today.
That is
Yeah.
That is
beautiful.
my favorite.
Yeah.
That
my
I'm gonna
favorite.
keep
That's
mine
good.
like
Well,
this.
I like to say
That is
this
beautiful.
This is a good time, and just like Camara,
beautiful.
just go through what Joan has done for you all of these years. Tell us about. A lot of people don't understand the effort that it takes.
Well, and you know, I'm 37, and this is 2004, and I was sick all year. It was the thyroid, and then it was tuberculosis, and then it was lupus, and then we finally figured out that it was sarcoidosis. And so I was just really sick that year, and I decided to stop working. You know, I'm like, I'm going to get myself together.
With all during that time, you were a model, weren't you?
And no, I was working in retail. So I was doing retail. I was traveling a lot, all over the East Coast, and just really busy at work, really long hours, and you know, that kind of busy. And so when I decided to stop working, you know, I told my mom I was going to stop working. I wanted to try and get myself healthy, and then within the next month I had the stroke, and she had been working out of town, and so she and a very dear friend of ours, because Sue is who got me on your show, along with it was Sue and Sarita Lee.
Well, that's because you recovered, and not only did you recover, you were able to be positive. You got involved with your own radio show. You know,
Right.
I mean, you had enough problems as it was. You know, and then the thing that really impressed me was the fact that wherever Romero was, there was Joan. And, and I think this is the time of year we talk about moms, but your mother has shown the perseverance. You know,
Yes.
that a lot of mothers, some of them need to see. You know, and some of them, and you're a living example of the dynamic person that Joan is and what she has done. Because she could have very easily, you know, put you in the hospital or something like that, you know. But the idea, and then the positiveness of your continuing your career. Not only did you, you know what I mean. That was the thing.
Right, and so it's not something, you know, I have to say Mother's Day is every day, because you don't get this, you know, you need it by yourself. You need someone that's with you every step of the way, you know, learning to read and write and walk and talk. And, you know, my mother has been that support system with the doctors. And I have great doctors. I've had great therapists. Every time I've gone into the emergency room, I've had, you know, I've met great nurses. And you know, they love my mom because she's involved in the care that they're giving me. And, you know, we're pretty much happy and smiling and being nice to those people because they have to take care, you know, they have to take care of you. And
well,
so,
tell us some of the things you, that you yourself actually experienced during those trials and tribulations when you were trying to recover.
And I'm still in, you know, your show is part of my cognitive therapy to kind of keep my brain working because I still have, you know, the long-term and short-term memory. And so my mom is there. So if we're at a doctor's appointment, then, you know, she has all her notes. She writes everything down. And so she can always go and go back and check the notes. But it was hard. It was.
Well,
it was
tell us
hard,
some of the things that
you know, I just
you feel
went through it.
when a person, you know, have problems like that. How did you accept this being a young model and, you know, on your way to the top?
You know, just simple, just faith in our Creator, faith in my mom and dad, and I have a special aunt and two special cousins, and a lot of family, a lot of my family, and a lot of some really dear friends. And so I just kind of, I wasn't mad. I wasn't. It was just like, this is just a different way that I'll have to live, and so I just had to take it as a lesson and a blessing.
Right, and the strength that your mother was able to provide for you was a major item, because you were restricted as far as driving a car and all of that, right?
Well, I still don't drive because I have vision due to the stroke. So there are a lot of parts in my vision. Of course, I don't look like it, but there are a lot of parts where I can't see. And so I'm not driving, which is different. So she has to, you know, take me where I need to go.
Well, tell us a little bit about your program. We talk about it, but I haven't heard you talk about it too much.
It recently. Well, the one thing, I had a good friend of mine on the show, Ananda Leak, and you had her father on the show, John Link. And John, after Ananda got me through that first year, then John helped a couple months after that, almost a year, to keep the show going. So the Stroke Diva Fabulous Radio Show was her brainchild, because my major was radio, television, and film.
And you majored in
radio, television, and film. But when I graduated, I didn't do a thing with it. So,
but that was something that you wanted, and you continue to do it by developing, you know, a program on the radio, and then actually getting into television, where you were able to put Ed Brown on the top here.
And the good thing is with the radio show, because I'm not out driving and like I was before and all over the place and
Yeah.
meeting tons and tons of people. Now I meet those people online.
Yeah.
So
Hey, so
is, you know, between Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Google Plus and my family and friends and people, you know, ask to be on the show, and once they've been on the show, then they suggested somebody else come on the show.
right.
And so it has really been great. And I pretty much focus on entrepreneurs because there are a lot of businesses out there, especially African American business, and I want to
Great.
highlight those businesses. And I just think it's important to share, you know, share in someone's success and to help
Right.
people, you know, folks as long as I can, in
But
which way I can.
You get involved in mentoring other people yourself?
Well,
You know?
well, we call our young families our young people in our family.
Yes.
we think we're their
People that
mentors on
family
life.
mentors, huh?
Have the mentors on life. But we have lots of young people in the family that are doing well, and so we try to be positive and support them in every which way they go, whether it's a dance or music or piano or whatever they're doing.
And
We try to do
actually,
that.
with some of the guests that you've had on the show, you're involved in the political sector too. Tell us a little bit about that.
Somewhat, and you've had both Devon Kelly, who has the 13th Man, and you've had Everett, who does the
Sylvester Jones.
Sylvester Jones
He's
and
U.S.
Everett
Marshal.
Browning, and we've had a couple marshals. We've had
Yeah.
Sylvester, we've had David Grogan, and way back when you had Fogg.
Fogg, yes.
So you had him.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so
I got some people call me about that, you know.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and,
this is
and
the season.
I'll be sitting in restaurants or going to different stores, and people will say, hey, I know you, aren't you Ed Brown? You know, I said, yeah, I'm Edie, you know. Well, I enjoy your show. I said, well, we have a lot of people behind the show, you know.
And I
that
have to
bring
give
in-
you kudos, because a lot of the guests that I've had, you've had them here several times
Yes.
to talk politics.
yeah.
Because, you know, we always have someone that's running
Right.
for office. We've had someone you've had guests that have been in office. They're still
Right.
in office.
Right.
So we do get our politics in. You know, I have my cousin Michael Braxton, who's been on your show many times before.
Yeah, right.
And he was a foreign service, I'm going to say agent, but he was a diplomat
Officer.
and officer. And so we've talked a lot about politics.
Okay, now, you know what? We're going to let Mom say a few words.
Yes.
We want to hear
I'll hold you.
the things when she, you know, found out that her daughter was having these problems, and what are some of the things that moms
just
should
hold
do
this.
to make it easier on both the
this
mom and
way.
the child?
Well, I think it's different for everyone. With Kamaria, it was so unexpected, and it was so much at one time that I had to learn, you know, as we went along, because I'm pretty healthy, thanks to the man upstairs that I've been fortunate to be healthy and have been able to care for several family members. And so with Kamaria, it was a learning experience trying to deal with healthcare and to deal with the doctors and nurses and hospital officials. And at first it was just, it could be tense.
Yes.
Because I felt that I had to just jump in, and I guess I was so protective, you know, of her, and I was jumping in all the time trying to make sure that they were doing everything that they could. I demanded to have a bed to sleep in because I was sleeping there with her.
Yeah.
And, you know, just a lot of different things. But the process itself, it's been quite a while now. There's some wonderful people in those jobs, the doctors, the nurses, everybody. And so finally, it's become like when we go to doctors' offices and visits now, it's just like we're all friends. And, you know, everybody, they know us. And, I mean, I don't care where we are. It's a lot of hugging and, you know, they make you feel...
In a family atmosphere.
Right, it is. And they share information freely. You don't have to dig and try to get anything from them. They're just right there for you. And so in a way, I hate to say it's a pleasant experience per se, but it is, you know, because when you go through the illnesses that she has gone through and still is going through.
Right.
And just fighting every step of the way, never ever letting that take over. It's amazing. She's amazing. She's the one that has made it easier for me.
Her attitude.
Her whole attitude.
That was the thing. That was the thing that impressed me. You know, when I first met her, you know, I thought about her and that wonderful smile.
That's right.
You know,
I never give up.
Well, I like that. You know, like you said, she didn't give up.
Never,
she continued,
ever.
and those are things that we have to realize. That's what all of us have to do. You know, because you never know when something is going to occur, and you got to be, you know, ready for it. Let's talk about the new hospital. You know, I've been. What do you think about that? I thought the new hospital maybe should have a specialty in either. Was it garganosis?
Sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis.
And
okay.
that would be really,
I was
great.
thinking that because what we have to do, they talk about money, but I think the new hospital should have some research in something like that, or something that's very common is arthritis. Arthur, get the knees and everything.
That's right.
And
That's right.
what I'm trying to do is get people to understand is that a lot of people donate money to programs, specialties like you had, and most people sooner or later they get arthritis, and that's something I think the people should be putting more information to the county and to the state, the University of Maryland, about having one of the having something like that as a specialty. So when they need money, they don't always have to go to the people, you know, raise the taxes. What do you think about that?
That would be great. We do need more studies for sarcoidosis. You hear more about it now than when she first was diagnosed. It was almost unheard of. I mean, we would go from doctor to doctor, and they would have a time trying to figure out what it was.
Doctor's Hospital, you had to go to doctors. Why not have a facility in Prince George County? Since we have, we're going to have a new facility. Why not make it so that it helps the people on a lot of the things that are occurring now in families. And then when people decide they have too much money, they want to give money, they give money to these different causes. And I was thinking that would be a great idea. I don't know who's listening to us, but anyway, have a Prince George County, have some type of specialist. Maybe those two are not feasible, but have something, because what happened is that it attracts people too, you know, citizens. They want to be near, like a good example, John Hopkins. You know, a lot of people know John Hopkins is known for certain things. It's certain things that, what is this Prince George County Hospital going to be? No, it's just going to be a hospital emergency, you know, that type of thing. And they should look in turn, since they have the backing of the University of Maryland, they should have it as made a training hospital for the doctors going to University of Maryland, and then have a specialty, you know, like sarcoidosis or either, I always say rheumatism, you know, the big
No, you
R.
call it Arthur.
Yeah, that's what I call it Arthur. That's right. When Arthur comes knocking, you know, when you last time, no matter if you sprained your toe when you was 10 or whether you broke your shoulder, Arthur, when you get older, Arthur comes to visit, he knocks on the door, you know.
Right.
And I was just thinking that would be a great thing. But being Mother's Day, I think the mothers should really get involved. Joan, you should put your say into this hospital on some of the things you feel that they should actually have in the hospital, which you have experienced. See, you've experienced a lot of things there, and actually people that have been through these different, they need to give their input so that the hospital will have it known around the world as specialists when these things happen.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
We spend a lot of time at Johns Hopkins already.
Yeah,
in
That's what I
Baltimore,
mean.
and so we're constantly, you know, on the go. Hospitals from Baltimore to Manassas, Virginia.
Now you have to go to Baltimore, Johns Hopkins, you know, since this hospital is big, get some input from the people that live here, you know, and pick out a specialist, a specialty, you know what I mean? And this would be outstanding. And they always talk about money, want to raise your taxes. This is the way, because let's see, a couple years ago, a couple of builders gave University of Maryland $30 million each just for research. And see, those are the type of things that attract people. And people, you always have some health problem. And making everybody has it. You know, sooner or later, everybody has it.
We'll have it,
and having that an input from citizens like your mother, Joan, there, you know, of what you've been through and what you think needs to be improved. Everything needs to be improved. There's nothing that's perfect. And the input from the citizenry is so very important. I haven't seen any survey, you know, I haven't seen any survey to the people of how they feel the hospital will best serve us. Because right now, everybody runs to another county.
Right.
when they have a,
we do.
Right.
Everything, Montgomery County.
Yeah, that's what I say, Montgomery County.
Columbia.
Columbia.
And Baltimore.
And
Baltimore.
Now you have an opportunity. You have a facility in Largo there. This is an opportunity for the citizenry to get input into the type of service that they expect. And the type of service would be worldwide if they get into research. So, happy Mother's Day, Joan.
Well, thank you so much.
Happy
the
Mother's Day.
The best daughter ever.
I tell
I've
you,
been blessed.
This has been years of working with you too, and I have a couple others. There's my son, there's Larry, and there's Edwina Larkin that also that have worked and made Ed Brown show, award-winning Ed Brown show. See, I told you, another year, Ed Brown won it again, but not by myself. These two are the ones.
Well, Mr. Brown, you're wonderful.
Mr. Brown, because you're wonderful.
You're wonderful.
You're wonderful.
Thank you so much.
That's good.
Thank you. This is beautiful.
I made it.